Hey guys, it is Melissa from Steals, Deals, and Meals, and we are meal prepping today. As you can see from my table, I have so many items to wash and prep and cook, so we are going to be a little bit busy today. Hopefully we get to everything. We shall see how the day progresses. Some things are from this week's farm share, as well as I have a few items from some previous weeks that I just either forgot about or I just never got to because, sometimes you're busy and you just don't get to it. So I'm going to do a quick run through, just show you what we are starting out with, just so you guys can see. So I do have some green peppers as well as some poblano peppers. We're going to do some stuffed peppers today to prep for the week, and that'll be several meals. I also have some tomatoes. Usually these I just wash them, and that way they are ready to go just for snacking or to add to meals. Some onions, those will be incorporated into several different meals as well. And then I also have these two beautiful heads of lettuce. I also have some zucchini. I'm just going to roast that up. You've probably seen that if you watch any of my other meal prepping videos. You'll see, zucchini has been in many of my videos lately because they've been giving it to us every week in the farm share. I also have these carrots, which really need to be cooked at this point because they've been in my refrigerator for a couple weeks. So we're going to chop those up and we're going to make a escarole soup for my husband. And I also have the tops of some celery from a couple weeks ago. I purchased celery, and what I do is I just save the tops and I throw it in the freezer, save it to make soups. And there is the escarole as well. That was from last week, which I just never got to it. So that is already washed and ready to go for the soup. And I also have some green onions as well. Those will be incorporated into several things, I'm sure. And we also have some fresh corn, which I'm not going to cook today, but we're going to prep that, get that all cleaned up and ready to go. And then in the back of the table, as always here, and I also have some chives. I almost forgot. I have some chives in the back there, as well as some blueberries. Those weren't from my farm share. I purchased those in my recent grocery haul. And then I'm also going to be using some of these taco crumbles, as well as the Butler soy curls. I love this brand so much. They sent me these for free, but I have been purchasing their items for several years. So we're going to be using the taco crumbles to make some stuffed peppers. And if that video should be up before this video, so I'm going to link that up here if you want to see the stuffed peppers. I also have some sage and some lemon balm, which is not looking too good. We might do something with that as well. And then back here, like I was saying before, I always have my bowl ready for cleaning my veggies, as well as I have a new addition. I have a salad spinner now. I finally broke down and purchased one. So we're going to get going and we're going to start this meal prep today. All right, so over here you can see I put the peppers in a bowl. I just spray them with my regular vinegar spray. If you've seen my other videos, go check them out. It's just vinegar and water combination, and I just spray it on the veggies. I let it sit for several minutes so they clean. I have the heads of lettuce sitting in here as well. And the tomatoes, I just grabbed another bowl, put those in there, sprayed them. There's my vinegar spray. Just keep it in a bottle I get at the Dollar Tree. It's like half water, half white vinegar, and just spray it on there. I usually let it sit for about 10 minutes or so. These veggies are all organic, so I'm not too concerned with them. I just want to basically clean them. Once they're clean, I took them all out. I just laid them on a paper towel and set them aside so they can dry a little bit. The peppers, I'm not too concerned with them being, dried because they're going to get cooked right away, as well as the zucchini. But the tomatoes, I like them to be, just sit out and dry enough so that way when I put them in the refrigerator, they will stay fresh. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that zucchini. I just sliced it up. If you watch my videos, not to be repetitive, you've seen this a million times. Just going to slice it up and put on a baking sheet and get that in the oven. All right, so next up we are onto those carrots because I want to get this soup going so it can sit and cook all day while I'm cooking all the other things. So I washed them and then I just laid everything out. I have my carrots here. I'm just going to peel those. They're kind of looking a little sad, these poor carrots, but once they're cooked up, they'll be fine. I always keep a little garbage bowl as well, so as I'm, prepping my foods, I can just throw any little scraps in there. I have my celery all ready to go. That's going to go in as is into my, once I put the broth and everything into the pan. I'm going to chop up one of the yellow onions. So that's basically how we're going to get started. Alright, so here's the carrots. I peeled them the best I can. They probably really don't need to be peeled too much. There's my garbage bowl all full of my scraps. I'm going to put some oil in a pan, and what I did was I chopped up some of the carrots and then I left some whole because I'm actually going to puree them. added in the onion. I just kind of did a rough cut of the onion as well, and then I threw in the celery, and I'm going to let this like just saute for a little bit in the oil and kind of, you know, kind of build some of those flavors. I also usually add a little bit of some salt and pepper as well, and it just kind of builds the flavors before putting in the water to make like your veggie stock. You know, you could even just, even if you're not making a soup, you can just do this to make a stock as well. And you know, this is what it looks like as it continues to cook. I kind of let it just get like, you know, wait for the veggies to get a little bit soft, and then I'll just add the water to it, and then I'm just going to let it sit and, you know, cook for a little bit, and I'm going to put the escarole in once that cooks for probably a good like half hour or so. All right, so once my soup was all, you know, prepped and on the stove and sitting and simmering, I totally forgot the zucchini was in the oven, and I seem to do this the last couple weeks. I don't know, it's mom brain, I don't know what it is. But anyways, these are still going to be good. Usually it's just the ones on the outer perimeter of the pan. Sometimes will get burnt depending on how thin I slice them. But it's all good. I'm just gonna, you know, I'll toss the, you know, the ones that got a little crispy, throw them in the garbage, but they will still be good. I do like them when they're a little bit browned anyway, so, you know, I need to start remembering to set a timer for myself because I always seem to forget every week. I don't know what it is with the zucchini, but this is what they're gonna look like. I'm gonna put them in a bowl, and I will have these ready for the week. All right, so we are onto the corn. I'm just going to prep these today. I'm not going to cook them, but I just want to get them out of the husks and usually clean them and put them in a pan so they are ready to go. I had my son actually help me with them as well. This is always his job. Whenever we get corn, he always peels them for me. We did find, I should have taken a little picture, we did find a little worm in one of the corn. So we did save him. We brought him outside, but it was all good, and you know, he even left the corn cob that he was on. We left him on it, so he even had a little snack. Anyways, once my son was done, I just left them, you know, sprayed them with some vinegar, cleaned them up. I put them in one of these foil pans. I know I try to use reusable things a lot, but just lately I've been, you know, trying to save myself some time. So I put them in this pan, and I'm just going to cover it with some foil and keep them in the fridge. And throughout the week when we are ready, I'll just put a little bit of some, you know, a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and they will be ready to go. All right, so once we were done with the corn, my soup had been simmering for a good half hour or so, so I just chopped up the escarole that was already cleaned, and I just tossed that in there. You know, I kind of try to put it towards the end because it will, you know, the greens will wilt down and cook pretty fast, and you don't want to overcook them. And then I just, you know, stirred that in. I stupidly forgot to pull out the larger pieces of carrot and some of the celery, so it did get caught in there. Usually what I would have done was pull that out first because I usually will puree it. But it was all good. I was able to pull it out and afterwards. But I highly recommend if you do that, if you leave the larger pieces, make sure you pull them out ahead of time, so that way if you're either just going to discard them or puree them into the soup, do it before you add the other greens because it's going to kind of get lost in there. Then what I did was I added some of this BUTLER Foods chick style seasoning just to give it a little bit extra flavor. And then I also love this Macel all-purpose bouillon seasoning. I've been using this for years as well. We met the company, people from the company years ago at the gluten-free, the GFAF Expo. So we met them, and they had given us some products, and I just love it, and now I purchase it all the time. It has really great flavor and totally vegan and low sodium, as you can see. So I added that to the soup, and then I let it just simmer for another 30 minutes. So once the soup was done, as you can see, I took out those larger pieces of the carrots and the onion and the celery, and I pureed up most of it, and then I put it back in there, and you can see how that gave it the richness of color in the broth. And then I just put it in some of these bowls. Unfortunately, I didn't have a bowl big enough, but I love these glass bowls. They work out great. I let it cool for a little bit, and then I'm just going to keep it in the fridge, and my husband can have some soup throughout the week. Whatever he doesn't finish, if he doesn't finish it, what I usually do is I will just take a jar, like mason jar, or sometimes when I buy, you know, items that come in a jar, I will save them, and then I will reuse them to freeze items. So I'll just put it in a jar and keep it in my freezer, and it stays really fresh. Just make sure you label it, put the date on it. So that is what my soup looks like, and he's going to love having this throughout the week. So as I said earlier, I usually let the tomatoes sit and kind of, get dry on the paper towel. So now they are ready to get packed up for the week. I usually put them in a bowl with a paper towel just to kind of keep the moisture out. I did set aside a few because we were having dinner this night, so I wanted to, I think we were having burgers, so I left some out for the burgers, as well as I'm going to use one for my stuffed pepper recipe as well. So these will be good to grab, throughout the week for any meals or for snacking. So now we are onto the stuffed peppers, and I love these beautiful green peppers. They look so good. Trying poblano peppers for the first time, so excited about that. So if you want to see that recipe, like I said, I will link it right above here for you guys, the full recipe, but it's basically the peppers, red onion, some scallions, tomatoes, and also I'm going to use the Butler Food taco crumbles, and these are so good. They are 100% plant-based, good fiber, protein. They are, they're all seasoned and everything, so you really don't have to add any sort of seasoning. You can just add whatever veggies and things that you want to it. If you want, you don't have to, but I usually do that just to kind of bulk it up. And I prepared my peppers, and you can see it made a ton of them. So I had to actually use 2 separate pans because there were so many. But we're going to be eating these, my daughter and I, throughout the week, and I highly recommend this recipe to you guys, not just because I made it, but it is just so good. And so low carb as well. So if you're following a low carb vegan diet, this is perfect. Just be careful of the cheeses though, because sometimes the vegan cheeses can be a little bit higher carb, but just use a little bit just for that little bit of that cheesy flavor, and you're really going to enjoy these. So I also put my salad greens away. I had washed them. I let them sit on some paper towels just to dry. I did put them through the salad spinner, but I usually let them sit on a paper towel just to make sure that there's, most of the moisture is out. They do look a little wilted. I don't know what happened here, but it is what it is. We're going to probably eat these very soon. So I just put them in like 3 separate bowls so I can just kind of grab and go and throw anything on top of it that I may want. And it's a quick, also makes it easy for a quick meal as well. So we're just going to put these aside. A little bit of paper towel on the inside of the bowl will help keep the moisture out. And then we are onto the blueberries now, which I also laid out on the paper towel. I usually try to make sure that these are 100% dry as well. I just let them sit on the paper towel while you are doing your other prep, and just set them to the side. And once they're done, I just put them in individual bowls, just that way the kids can grab them whenever they want a little snack. And, when they're back to school, I will add these to their lunches as well. So you can see I have them all like laid out with a little bit of the paper towel as well, just to keep the moisture out. I usually do that with most of my veggies because I do like to wash everything in advance, and they will stay fresh throughout the week. So just in case you guys are worried about pre-washing your fruits and veggies, I highly recommend it. I've been doing it for years and everything stays pretty fresh. Just put that little piece of paper towel in there and you are good to go. Alright guys, so that is it for this week's meal prep. Now I did not get to a few of the items that I showed you in the beginning. I didn't get to the lemongrass. I was going to make like a drink, like a lemony kind of drink. I just did not get to it. Sometimes, I plan to make all these certain things and I just don't get to it, because of time or whatever, but it's all good. We're going to do it maybe in another video or later on during the week. Also did not get to, do anything with the sage as well. And also I didn't get to the Butler Foods soy curls, but I'm going to probably prep those later in the week. You might see it in probably in another video. And I know I've showed them in previous videos as well. I'll link all that stuff down below. If you guys really enjoy these meal prep videos, I would love for you guys to give me a thumbs up. That way I know that you are enjoying them, because I love meal prepping on Sundays, and I hope you guys love it as well as I do. And also don't forget to go check out Butler Foods. I'm going to link all their information down below. Like I said before, I got all these items for free so I could just share it with you. But I have been purchasing them for years. I love their products so much. So go check them out. As always, guys, if you are new here, I would love for you guys to subscribe as well and join my YouTube family. And as always, guys, I thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you soon. Bye, guys.